Dispositor is another astrological term used to describe the zodiac rulership by the planets. So we have already uncovered which planets rule over which zodiac signs, although the concept needs to be highlighted as it could easily be ignored. Here is a table of all the planets and the zodiacs they rule. We have already uncovered these in the planets series. You may go back to that if you need further clarification. The dispositor concept is all about the zodiac which the planet is at home in. So we will not look into the exaltation and debilitation here. The home of a planet can be a very powerful position for the planet to be even more powerful than the exaltation status. Again, if we were to personify the planet, we could say, for an example, a wedding celebration would be an exalted place for many souls, although only the exalted qualities would be available in that place. So when we are at home, that's when we are more of our true selves. So the home of a planet has a similar function and vibration. A planet which is in its own zodiac sign is called the final dispositor. How the dispositors work is that we analyze planets which are not in their home in the birth chart and in transit. Then we find whose home they reside in at that time and find the planet which owns that zodiac. We repeat this process until we get to the final dispositor. If in the birth chart there is a planet in its own zodiac sign, that planet would hold much power for that chart, as it would not be influenced by any other planetary lord. Here's an example of this. Let us say one is Jupiter in the zodiac sign of Leo. So we know to immediately look at the sun, as Leo is ruled by the sun, thus influencing Jupiter. Then we'll look at the status of the sun. Let us say then the sun would be placed in the zodiac sign of Aries. As we know, Aries is ruled by Mars, so we would go towards Mars and find Mars is in the zodiac sign of Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. And then we find Venus in its own home in Taurus. So Venus for this chart becomes the final dispositor. So the soul would naturally embody all the Venusian qualities such as grace, beauty, the fine arts, romance, and all the significations of Venus we have come to know. So this becomes the basic way to treat the concept of dispositors. So of course not all charts will have planets placed in their own zodiac sign, although the concept still remains. The planets will be influenced by the planet which rules the zodiac sign they are placed in. The same way we would have to follow the rules of a home we are visiting, as it's not our own home. This idea also gave birth to the idea of exaltation and debilitation. An example would be the planet Mars being debilitated in the sign of Cancer, a soft, watery sign ruled by the moon. Mars would feel quite restricted here to express the natural Mars qualities of fighting and action. Mars would have to listen to the will of the moon to produce the results. In the same example, we will find Moon to be in the zodiac sign of Aries, or if it were to be in the zodiac sign of Scorpio, both ruled by Mars. Then a wonderful thing happens called an exchange, a planetary exchange. This is also called parivartana. When the planets are sitting simultaneously in another's home, those two planets would have a loyalty of taking care of the home as the other planet is in their own home also. We will go deeper into this Parivartana Yoga when we get to the Yogas series of our learning. Rahu and Ketu should also be analyzed by using the dispositor concept. Both these lunar nodes would produce the effects of the zodiac sign in which they reside. So if Rahu, for example, were to be in the sign of Sagittarius, we would immediately look into Jupiter. The dispositors is a simple and a very effective method to use when looking at the birth chart. The dispositor cannot be ignored at all, which is why I felt it needed a special mention to become a lesson on its own. So remember, each planet is sitting in a certain zodiac sign. Find out whose home that planet has occupied and follow the planets to unravel the inner secrets of the horoscope. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, like and share. I'd be most grateful.